Portland, Maine's Old Port is the city's soul, a living tapestry of history, commerce, and community. Its cobblestone streets and weathered brick buildings echo a maritime past, where fishermen and merchants shaped daily life. Today, the Old Port is a vibrant hub, blending historic charm with modern culture, cuisine, and community gatherings. The wharves, like Custom House Wharf, are the district's lifeblood, active piers supporting the fishing industry and iconic local businesses. When disaster struck this cherished district, it wasn't just property at risk, it was the heart of Portland itself. The news sent shockwaves through the community, a stark reminder of how fragile even the most enduring symbols can be. The Old Port's vulnerability became a deeply personal concern for everyone who calls Portland home. On the evening of December 26, 2025, Portland's Old Port was wrapped in a post-holiday calm. The city's historic waterfront, usually bustling with tourists and locals, was unusually quiet. Twinkling lights from the recent festivities still glimmered in the windows, and a gentle winter chill hung in the air. For many, it was a time to unwind, to reflect on the year gone by, and to enjoy the peaceful lull between Christmas and New Year's. But at around 5:30, that peace was shattered in an instant. Flames suddenly erupted on Custom House Wharf, a cherished stretch of the waterfront known for its weathered wooden buildings and vibrant businesses. The fire began small, but within moments, thick smoke billowed into the sky, visible from blocks away. The wharf, a symbol of Portland's maritime heritage, was now at the center of a rapidly unfolding disaster. The Portland Fire Department responded with remarkable speed. Within minutes, the first engines arrived, sirens wailing and lights flashing as firefighters leapt into action. Urgent warnings echoed across emergency channels, alerting nearby residents and business owners to the growing danger. The firefighters knew they were facing a formidable challenge: old wooden structures, tightly packed together, and a stiff wind off the harbor. Sirens pierced the night as smoke and fire quickly engulfed the wharf, spreading with terrifying speed. The flames leapt from building to building, fueled by decades-old timber and the biting winter wind. The glow of the fire illuminated the waterfront, casting eerie shadows and drawing crowds of onlookers who watched in disbelief. The timing, early Friday evening, meant the area was busy, heightening the chaos and urgency. People who had been out for dinner or shopping suddenly found themselves in the midst of an unfolding emergency. Streets filled with the sounds of running footsteps, shouts, and the distant roar of the fire. Emergency crews worked to keep bystanders safe as the situation escalated. What began as a localized fire escalated into a massive third-alarm inferno, drawing resources from across the region. Firefighters from neighboring towns rushed to assist, forming a united front against the relentless blaze. The scale of the response was unprecedented, as crews battled not just the flames, but also freezing temperatures and treacherous conditions underfoot. The blaze threatened to erase decades of history in a matter of hours. Generations of memories, family businesses, and irreplaceable architecture were at risk. The fire's destructive path seemed unstoppable, and the fate of the Old Port hung in the balance. The heart of Portland's waterfront was suddenly in a desperate fight for survival. Firefighters worked tirelessly, risking their lives to save what they could, while the community held its breath, hoping for a miracle. The community watched in horror as the Old Port faced its greatest threat in generations. In those tense hours, Portland's spirit was tested, and the city's future seemed to hang in the balance. The fire spectacle was apocalyptic. Flames lit the night sky, casting an orange glow visible for miles. Heavy smoke billowed upward, a grim signal to the entire city. Residents watched in disbelief from every vantage point. The fire's heat and roar felt blocks away. The blaze was so intense it appeared on weather radar, a stationary storm over Portland's heart. Sparks and embers rained down, forcing onlookers to keep their distance. Beloved buildings collapsed, each loss a blow to the community's memory. The harbor reflected the inferno, doubling the scene of devastation. That night, Portland witnessed a heartbreaking spectacle it would never forget. The fire forced the immediate closure of some of the Old Port's most cherished establishments: the Porthole restaurant, Boone's Fish House, Andy's Old Port Pub, and Solo Italiano. These restaurants weren't just places to eat. They were woven into the fabric of Portland's daily life, where generations gathered for celebrations, quiet dinners, and community events. Their sudden silence left a void that rippled through the city, touching everyone from loyal regulars to first-time visitors. These weren't just businesses, they were community institutions and economic cornerstones. For many, these restaurants represented memories, birthdays, anniversaries, and everyday moments that made life in Portland special. Their loss was felt not only in the empty seats and shuttered doors, but in the hearts of those who called these places a second home. Harbor Fish Market, a vital seafood supplier, also shut its doors, underscoring the disruption. The market's closure sent shockwaves through the local fishing industry, affecting not just restaurant menus, but the livelihoods of countless fishermen and suppliers who depended on its daily operations. The empty, darkened windows stood as a silent testament to the fire's devastation. Once bustling with laughter and light, these spaces now echoed with absence, a stark reminder of how quickly a thriving community can be brought to a standstill. Amid the chaos, the safety of staff and fishermen was the top priority. Firefighters and emergency crews worked tirelessly to ensure everyone was accounted for, guiding people to safety even as the flames raged on. Each business quickly reassured the public. All employees and families were safe. Owners and managers reached out to their teams, making sure everyone was cared for and no one was left behind in the confusion. This focus on people over property brought relief to a worried city. In the face of loss, the community's compassion shone through, reminding everyone that the true heart of Portland lies in its people. The community could grieve the loss of places, knowing lives were spared. As residents gathered to pay their respects, there was comfort in the knowledge that, despite the destruction, families remained whole and hope endured. The safety of workers was the one bright spot on a dark night, a reminder that even in tragedy, the strength of a community is measured by how it cares for its own. In the aftermath, affected businesses turned to social media, not with despair, but with gratitude and resilience. The Porthole restaurant's heartfelt message thanked the community and praised the bravery of firefighters, calling them their PFD family. Their words echoed a belief in the strength and kindness of Mainers. Other businesses shared similar relief for staff safety and appreciation for first responders. Comment sections filled with support, memories, and pledges to help rebuild. These posts became a virtual town square, uniting people in grief and hope. The dialogue between businesses and patrons showed that the spirit of the old port was unbroken. Community bonds, forged over years, proved truly fireproof. The fire's rapid spread was fueled by the very elements that make the old port unique: historic wooden buildings built before modern fire codes. Dry timber and close-set structures created a tinderbox, allowing flames to leap from building to building. The lack of fire-resistant materials and sprinklers left the wharf vulnerable. Open spaces beneath the pier and gaps in the planks fed the fire from below. Firefighters battled not just the blaze above, but the burning foundation beneath. This disaster highlighted the risks of preserving historic architecture without modern safety upgrades. The old port's charm became its greatest danger. The fire was a stark reminder of the delicate balance between heritage and safety. On a bitterly cold winter night, firefighters in Portland faced one of the most challenging emergencies in the city's history. As flames tore through the wharf, the frigid air quickly turned water to ice, freezing hydrants solid and making hoses brittle and unmanageable. The very tools they relied on to fight the fire were rendered useless by the relentless cold, cutting off their primary water supplies and threatening to let the inferno rage unchecked. In a moment of quick thinking and resourcefulness, the team decided to deploy a fireboat. Drawing water directly from the icy depths of Casco Bay, the boat's powerful cannons unleashed torrents onto the burning buildings, providing a lifeline when all seemed lost. This creative solution allowed firefighters to attack the blaze from the water, reaching areas that were inaccessible from land. The fireboat's efforts were crucial, buying precious time and preventing the fire from spreading even further along the waterfront. For hours, crews braved freezing temperatures, thick smoke, and the constant threat of collapse as they worked on a weakening ice-slicked pier. Every step was treacherous, every breath filled with smoke and cold, but they pressed on, risking their lives to protect the city's historic heart. Their determination and teamwork paid off. Through coordinated efforts on land and water, the firefighters managed to contain the blaze, stopping it from spreading deeper into the old port and threatening even more of Portland's cherished waterfront. The night was not without cost. One firefighter sustained minor injuries, a stark reminder of the dangers faced by those who run toward disaster when others flee. As dawn approached, exhausted but triumphant crews regrouped, knowing their courage and adaptability had averted a much larger catastrophe. Their actions that night would be remembered for years to come. Thanks to their efforts, countless historic buildings and beloved local businesses were saved from destruction, preserving the character and spirit of Portland's Old Port for future generations. The community rallied in gratitude, recognizing the bravery and sacrifice of these everyday heroes. The city owes them a debt that can never truly be repaid. Their performance that night was nothing short of a masterclass in bravery, quick thinking, and unwavering commitment to the people they serve. Portland's gratitude for their extraordinary efforts will not be forgotten, and the city stands stronger because of them. The fire's devastation reached beyond buildings. Fishing vessels moored at the wharf were also lost or damaged. For fishermen, these boats are livelihoods, not just property. The loss was a major blow to Portland's maritime economy and working waterfront. Yet, amid the destruction, there was relief. No civilians were injured or killed. The quick response and orderly evacuation prevented tragedy. The preservation of life was the ultimate victory. The city mourned its losses, but was grateful for what was spared. As dawn broke, the full extent of the devastation was clear. But so was the resilience of Portland's community. Even before the last embers cooled, support poured in from every corner of the city. The Porthole restaurant reopened the next morning, offering a place for people to gather and heal. This act of defiance became a symbol of hope and unity. Neighbors came together, sharing stories and offering help. The fire scarred a beloved landmark, but it revealed the city's true strength. Recovery will be long, but Portland's spirit is unbroken. The bonds between firefighters, business owners, and citizens have only grown stronger. Portland is more than a place, it's a family. Together, they will rebuild, stronger and more united than ever.